Oh, and mine's Aunt Jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And if scientists ever discover a sea turtle, I am gonna freak out. Boy, howdy, that's a terrifying thought. But please do me a favor and hit the like button. I'm gonna start e-begging now because it turns out that like button really drives the engagement on these videos and pushes them out to a lot more people. So hit the like button, do me a solid there, and we're keeping it cheap around here today. We have got the Fangfo multi-tool pliers, and according to the box, top pick 2023 gift. Top pick for who? I don't know, but let's get into this thing and take a look at it. So, gimme, time. This I paid $11.90 all in for taxes and all that on Amazon. We're keeping it cheap. Now, let's get a look at the boy and see what we're dealing with. And one of the things, it opens and closes quite smoothly. This thing opens and closes smoothly. The pliers bit is spring loaded, which is always nice to have. Your wire cutters aren't replaceable, so if you roll these things over, you're stuck for it. Let's take a look at our tools, and the first thing we'll take a look at is the plain edge on this thing, which, I love nail nicks. But these things do lock open. So they have got the Dollar General version of the Leatherman Wave style lock on them. They do lock, which is nice to have. Oh my god, locking tools are so nice. But you can kind of tell, that is just stamped and rolled steel of the cheapest variety possible. But let's get a look at the edge on this thing. So the edge on it is quite okay. And no, I'm not going to waste a test clip on this thing. I'm just going to mess up cuts because I'm under the camera. But, it does cut well enough. I am not disappointed by that too terribly much. Let's look at our other tools. Next thing we're going to look at is the Phillips head here. This thing is dainty. Oh, and it's got that stank of cheap multi-tool on it. I've got a feeling this is going to strip out if an ant farts on it. It feels bad. So next up, we've got our small flat bit right here, and this also feels really cheap. Everything's rounded off. There's not a hard edge on it, which that's never a good sign. That is the mark of unhardened steel that's going to bend out of shape the second you put any pressure on it. Let's take a look at our serrated edge right here. And the serrated edge is dull. Oh my god, this thing is dull. You might be able to saw through something with it. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out a way to really flog this part of them yet. But you might be able to cut through something with it. But we'll take a look at that when we get to it. Our next tool is going to be the file. The file actually feels pretty good. It feels pretty sharp. Hopefully the steel is heat treated properly. You got a straight cut right here. You got more straight cut teeth right here. You got a double cut. And you get a safety side. The file feels pretty solid. We have got our scraper right here, and my god, this thing ain't gonna scrape nothing. This thing is dull. The edge on this thing is pretty much round. I'm not sure you could cut yourself on this if you tried. You might be able to, but oh man, it'd be hard to cut yourself on this or anything else. Like, this is completely rounded over. I think I see flat edge along here. It didn't get taken care of at all. Then we got another flat bit right here, and again, not a single hard edge on this. Not a single hard edge on this. Looks like there's a little bit of a pry bar. Oh god. Boys, this thing feels cheap. It feels incredibly cheap. Let's get our last tool out here, and we have got the can opener, bottle opener, another bottle opener. So this thing also feels incredibly cheap. I don't know if you can see how bad the grind is on this, but it's not even a straight grind. It's not a straight grind. It's not sharp. It may actually open a can, but oh god, that is bad. So, like, everything about this feels cheap. Like, the only thing that feels like it's an upgrade from the ones I got used to a long time ago is the tools lock. Everything else about it feels kind of awful. The plain edge cuts, the file feels decent, but everything else feels just awful. And so much better can be had for 5 to 9, 10 extra bucks. It is nuts. And, stuff like this, the locking tools is what pulled me back into multi-tools to begin with, because I got real used to stuff of this caliber in this kind of price range. And this thing, like you can see, everything about this reeks of gas station. It reeks to high hell of gas station. And of course, you got to open it to get to the tools. And then sharper serrated edge, but nothing locks open. It doesn't lock open. And if you're using the knife, yeah, not such a big deal. But I don't use the knife on multi-tools all that often. Let's see if we can find something useful here. You get into stuff like the, yeah, man. Get into stuff like the screwdriver on here. There's at least a little bit of a detent, but you get to the screwdriver and you got to open it up and run a screw in. And if it takes any pressure at all on it, like it's doing that number right there. Without fail, that, especially because the handle's a little bit awkward and you're not dead center on it. You're putting pressure on it. It's not dead centered. It does that. And it never fails and drives me nuts. So that put me off of buying cheap multi-tools for a long time, or at least budget multi-tools. You know, I don't have Leatherman money. You get the sticker shock off of that, and it's like, I cannot spend that much on it. And, or you buy something kind of mid-range and take your chances, and like it just wasn't something I wanted to do. Rocktall kind of came through and turned my opinion around a little bit on stuff like that. But, we'll carry this in a little while. I'll do a deeper dive into what we're looking at and what I think is going to happen and all that a little bit later here. But, once I'm done with this, I can pretty much guarantee you I'm either going back to the nice Rocktall, the Schrade, or the Leatherman. But I had to take a look at this for you guys. I just had to. There's some things on this that looked so cheap, and I still have no idea what purpose this serves. I don't know if that's just it looks cool and we added an extra feature or what, but this is a flea market find, it's a Walmart find, it's a gas station find. It's just that the tools lock. Really, that's its only selling point, and you can get again so much better for not much more. So this is my first impression of this thing. Y'all are looking at it with me, but yeah. All that being said, thanks for looking at my crap, subscribers. You guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so much. Y'all support the channel so much, and I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We got giveaways coming up. We have got live streams. There's plenty of activities. Hit that like button. Comments. I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this thing. If you were there for the old multi-tools back in the day, the cheap ones, let everybody know what your experience is like with those awful things. But all that being said, y'all have a nice day.